very proud of the group, of the effort from the group. I was really pleased. Obviously, first half we suffered more than what I thought we would. We said before the game we're going to suffer at times because Norwich are an excellent footballing team. They're going to have a lot of possession. We probably got the shape wrong at for the start of the game, which is on me, of course. But I want to get as many attacking players on the pitch as possible. It's something that we're going to have to look at against certain opposition. But I thought the way we defended the box in that first half was excellent. It's back to what we do best. And then half time, obviously the changes that we made, the slight change of shape and personnel was great, and we were much more on the front foot. We won the ball high up the pitch. I thought we dominated the second half, and with 2 or 3 great chances. Yes, they had a little bit of possession, but we always then looked to threat on the transitions, and that was more like us.
When you made the changes at half time, was that with Josh Sargent in mind? Because his movement was so good. Like in the first half, it was a struggle to see when he was dropping into the little pockets where the centre halves were going to go with him. Was that coming to you thinking when you brought Sonny on?
But it had nothing to do with Sonny. I thought Dion Sanderson was excellent against Sargent second half. It just allowed us to get up against them more. So that was my thinking on there, and it allowed us to be more on the front foot, get closer to their centre halves, and it worked.
How pleased are you with Dion? Because obviously when he came in, he had a bit of a tricky start, but he's been sensational for you, hasn't he, in the last few weeks?
Yeah, listen, I think you have to remember Dion hadn't played any football since last March, so again, it's going to be a slow start for him. I know what he can bring to the club. I know what he can bring into the dressing room. Obviously I've signed him a couple of times, and I'm really pleased for him the way he's progressing now nicely, and he's a top performer at this level, and I was very proud of his game tonight.
Sondre, how pleased are you to have him back? Because you can see from him, he's a centre half, he's a good progressive passer of the ball as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Listen, he allows us to play a little bit more on that right side. But the most important thing is, listen, he's a top character, he's a top lad. The lads are all delighted that he's back in the group, and we give him 45 minutes tonight. Let's see how he recovers tomorrow, because he wouldn't have expected that tonight. So we'll see how he is. But the most important thing is he's back in the group and he's training, which is great.
I watch you sometimes on the sidelines. I could see you on just before half time. You got a bit angry, and I was like, oh, God, I wouldn't like to be flown in that dressing room. What did you say to the players at half time?
I didn't need to say anything. The change of shape highlighted what we needed to do. I showed them a couple of clips, which was with Norwich hurting us. Norwich is a fantastic footballing team, coached very, very well. So you have to respect that fact, and we just weren't close enough to them. I was probably asking players to do something that we weren't ready to do at this stage with that group of players. And second half the tweet allowed us to get a lot closer and get more pressure on the ball, which was great.
Ben Brereton Diaz, I mean, you swapped him over to the right hand side, you 3-pronged attack. How pleased were you there as a front three?
Yep, I was really pleased with Patrick. Again, he's on catch up with his fitness. Something in that first half that we were asking him to do, and he's not just that fitness levels at the moment. Carlton was all over the place trying to fill in for everyone because he's that honest. But it was great for him, and it was great for who else? Ben. Sorry, it was great for Ben because I think first half he was filling in at left wing back, which isn't obviously his game. But then second half we gave him that freedom to run forward. I thought he was very dangerous on the turnover, and his performance second half was much more better.
What were your emotions at full time when you heard the final whistle and you got those 3 points in the bag? Yeah,
so I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased for the group. Really, we suffered on Saturday with a disappointing performance. Which wasn't us. To bounce back for that second half today was much more like us. We could have quite easily gone under. First half, Norwich are excellent. It just shows that this group is a group that's together, which is a group which is still building and learning. And I said that we're going to grow throughout the season, and it's very important that through the difficult moments, which we had maybe 1 or 2 this season, we haven't had loads. We drew a lot of games where we could have easily won. It's important that this group keep building, keep getting fitter, we get more people back available, and we just keep going.
People made a lot of Saturday's performance, but you only have to look at the table to see how tightly congested it is and how quickly momentum can change. Do you hope now you can just carry on that moving forward?
Of course I do, yeah, but you have to be realistic and sensible where we're at. We've had a big turnover of players. We've got players who aren't match fit. We're asking them to do things. We've got a great group of players who are very honest. Their attitude's different class, and I know throughout the season, as over a 46-game season, the group are going to finish the season really strongly. Do you know what I mean? And that's the most important thing. The most important thing for me is that everyone keeps level-headed. They understand the process. This is a rebuild of a fantastic football club, and it's going to take time. And second half today was excellent.
I was going to ask you about, obviously Ibu picked up his 5th yellow card of the season. That means your options at centre midfield are not the greatest at the moment. First of all, just on losing Ibu and amateur blown out, and secondly, I know January is some way off, but is centre midfield an option that you'd probably be looking at in the new year?
Yeah, 100%. Of course it is. And I was going to see if we're looking for free agents now, Lee. So I know you've got a bad back. if you could come on Saturday, that would be great, and see how easy it is in that midfield.
I wouldn't get down at all, mate.
Yeah, listen, we'd love to add to the group, but let's wait and see.
Okay, mate.
Thank you.
Hang on.
Just quickly on David's goal, it was a really great goal, his first goal for the club. Perhaps hasn't started as many games as he'd like to, but how pleased were you with his performance taking his chance today?
Yeah, listen, David missed a large chunk of the season last year. A serious thigh injury. So it's important that we progress him properly, develop him properly. This is his first, he still didn't get 90 minutes today, did he? So, he hasn't had as many games possibly as he's wanted, but, from a medical point of view, we have to look after him. We can't afford for him to break down again. It's going to be a huge ask for him to go again on Saturday. In the ideal world, it would have been great to possibly rest him, but we can't. So, let's see how he gets on. But, the reason he hasn't been playing as many games as he and we would like is just from a medical point of view. And as I say, over 46 games, the stronger he gets, he'll then start playing week in, week out.
Can I just complete centre-back bingo and just ask you about Matt Clark, because his contribution in the first half, when you were kind of under the cosh at times, was immense, wasn't it?
Yeah. Clarkey defended the box fantastically well. There was a lot of pressure in the box, and that's what he's best at. He's top drawer at defending the box, and we're very lucky to have him.
So is it in that respect about trying to find, rediscover that you've seen tonight, and we saw so much last season as well, to try and build on to go forward? Yeah,
of course it is. It's about building and growing, and not getting carried away, the highs and the lows, and it's a long season, and the most important thing is that we're getting players fit and available, getting stronger, and creating a good team spirit, a good togetherness throughout the club with the fans and the players. And if you're going to build properly, that's what it's going to take. There's going to be some difficult moments, of course there is, but everyone's got to stick together.
Brilliant. Cheers, John.
Thank you. Thank you.